Warning. Curse of Strahd. Spoilers ahead. We rejoin Zayli the Ranger, Nala the Druid, Torin the Paladin, Badakas the Rogue, Zandala, Irina, Boblia, and two toddlers as the party is accosted by a man with a fiendish arm. This man has taken a freakish interest in Irina Kolyana and has ordered the arrest of the party who, perhaps understandably, stands in his way. Nala turns to one of the guards, who looks hesitant to start a fight with a large group of strangers.
Is this normal for him?
The guard's response is a panicked voice, despite a lack of change in his expression.
Throw down your weapons! You're under arrest! Guards! Reinforcements to the square!
The thundering of boots can be heard from all directions as Valaki's guards converge on the party's location. Before we continue, please make sure you've subscribed to my channel. It helps me out a lot. Zayli wastes no time pulling out her death spear. As necrotic energy ripples down the blade, the nearby guards appear terrified.
Are we going for fatalities?
They look pretty terrorized. I wouldn't, except maybe the fiend arm guy.
Bedica says we can eat them and leave them alive.
Unconscious it is.
Zayli smashes the butt of her spear into the heads of two nearby guards, dropping them. She mentally commands Boblia to savagely bite the fiendish man. Boblia wrestles the man to the ground as the latter screams in protest. Most of the town's guards run into the town square from 4 separate roads, brandishing a variety of weapons. Nala casts Shalila on herself and rakes the fiendish man's body. Badakas throws himself at the fiendish man, throwing wild punches.
Guards! Guards! They're trying to assassinate me! Get them!
The archers begin firing, trying not to hit the fiendish man. Everyone is hit, including Irina, which causes immediate concern. Looks like it's time for Plan Badakas. The fiendish man tries to throw Badakas off his body, but Badakas smashes the man back into the ground.
This is an unfortunate formation. Torin, duck!
Oh, great. Zayli cranks a pair of lightning arrows dangerously close to Torin, Irina, and the toddlers, taking out a small pack of advancing guards. Boblia goes for the fiendish man's throat. The man barely blocks Boblia's attack with his fiendish arm, howling in pain. Torin detonates a fireball on a large group of guards, purposefully catching himself in the blast radius.
Torin, why?
He hates himself. We really need to get Irina and the children out of here. Nala, do you have anything?
Let me try something.
Nala polymorphs into a Tyrannosaurus Rex, pushing aside allies and enemies alike. She stomps her dinosaur feet and roars at the top of her lungs.
That doesn't help Irina and the children. Zandala?
Can Bedikas keep this one? There's a lot of guards still in play, buddy.
Irina, fly.
Bedikas will invoke the darkness. Irina grabs the children and flies to the relative safety of a nearby roof. Badakas casts darkness on himself, enveloping the two in utter blackness. Inside the darkness, Badakas' next move is to bite the fiendish man to pieces. The fiendish man is still trying to throw Badakas aside and get to Irina, but Badakas' strength has yet to fail, at least until Badakas starts trying to bite pieces of his flesh off, in which case desperation is a powerful ally. However, despite the fiendish man's newfound freedom, he's blinded by the darkness spell. The guards let another volley of arrows fly at the party, striking targets indiscriminately. Zayli's lightning arrow fades after the spell slips from her concentration. She runs out of the darkness and resumes smiting guards with her spear. Nala charges over to the area where the fiendish man is shouting and grabs him in her jaws, crushing his body. He goes limp, but merely unconscious, and Nala flattens a guard with her tail. As Badakas is hit with more arrows, the darkness spell drops, revealing a bloodied Zandala trying to find a safe place to continue casting her offensive spells. Badakas, exploring his inner vampire, throws himself at the nearest guard and tries to savage the guard's neck. Zayli and Boblia charge several of Zandala's attackers, taking out 3 archers as Torin blasts 3 more with Eldritch energy. Nala stomps over to the 2 remaining guards and smashes her tail into one of them, knocking the guard out cold. The remaining guard drops his weapon and flees, but is quickly taken down by Zayli's arrows. All the nearby buildings have been boarded up. No civilians are visible anywhere in this square. Zayli casts Healing Spirit on herself and Boblia, trying to recover in case there's additional combatants on the way. Torin uses Lay on Hands to heal himself and Zandala, who was quite badly shot during the encounter. Zandala casts Fly on Irina, who comes down from the roof with 2 toddlers in her arms.
Don't do anything you just saw, kids.
Torin nods in agreement as Zandala dusts herself off.
What in the world was that about?
Since Nala's got that in her jaws, let's take him somewhere private and ask him a couple questions.
Nala makes a happy Tyrannosaurus noise and shakes the fiendish man like a dog would shake a toy. Leave some for Badakas. Badakas wants a piece too. Where should we take him? Badakas would take one of his fingers.
That would kill him, Badakas. Not yet.
Aw, what harm could one finger do?
Don't you remember the lesson we learned in Chult? Even one nibble is enough.
Badakas' disappointment is immeasurable. Nala draws a picture of a coffin with her Tyrannotalon, indicating she's thinking about dumping the body at the coffin shop.
Maybe the church, since it's pretty deserted? We could just go there since we're heading that direction anyway. I don't think anyone is going to stop us at this point.
Bedikus is in so long as Bedikus gets a piece. The party warily travels through the streets of Vallaki, expecting attacks from behind buildings. The people of Vallaki, however, have never seen a Tyrannosaurus Rex and are smart enough to not pick a fight with a giant reptile carrying the limp body of the most feared guardsman in its mouth. The party arrives at the church and quietly enters the graveyard, making some attempt to keep their interrogation out of sight.
Is it worth using Zone of Truth on him?
Nala nods her huge dino head.
Any other opinions, Torin? You're the one we'll need to cast the spell.
Maybe it's a good idea if we tie him down first before we wake him up. Don't want him pulling any bullshit. Nala growls and slightly tightens her jaw.
Seems like we already have restraints in place.
You have a point.
I'm done for whatever.
Torin casts Zone of Truth and then expends a single charge of Lay on Hands to wake the fiendish man up.
Unhand me at once, beast!
No. So who the f*** are you?
I am Isaac Strozny, captain of the guard. You are keeping from me what is rightfully mine.
You can't own a person. Let me start there. What do you mean? Why do you think Irina is yours?
She is mine. I see her in my dreams. I make little dolls of her. She will be mine.
That's creepy. That's literally the only reason you see her in your dreams?
I will have her. No one can stop me.
I don't think there's a lot to this guy. What are you even doing here?
What do you care, slime? Tell your filthy pet to release me, lest you bring even more wrath down upon you after slaughtering the guards.
Actually, we just knocked them out.
Bedikus has a question. Where do you hide your chicken? The man suddenly grins.
In this hand.
What is up with his hand?
It is a gift.
From who?
Come here, Barakas. Come see this hand.
Barakas unsheathes his rapier, but advances closer nevertheless. When Barakas is close enough, Isaac hurls a large ball of fire at Barakas, who takes a full blast to his face. Aw, man, why'd you have to trick Barakas like that? Barakas was even nice and didn't eat any of your guards.
Irina, do you know this guy?
No, not at all.
The irony is, of course, that Irina does know Isaac, but the two have forgotten one another. They were once siblings, but Irina was lost to the forest, and Isaac was badly mauled by a forest creature. Isaac lost his arm, and Irina was eventually found by the burgomaster of the village of Barovia. Granted, there's some Barovian f***ery involved as far as the losing and finding of Irina, but suspension of disbelief will get you far in this modular narrative. Isaac grew up and started serving the burgomaster of Vallaki, an incompetent man known as Vargas Vlakovic, as a guard. One morning, Isaac woke up from a drunken stupor and realized that his missing arm had been replaced with a fiendish one. This fiendish arm invokes terror in the town of Vallaki and has made Isaac into Vargas's most prized guardsman, as it keeps rebellious nobles like Fiona Vakta in line. Isaac began having dreams about Irina and threatened the doll maker, Blinsky, to make dolls of Irina that Isaac kept in his room. As written, Isaac wants to rape Irina and make her his captive, slave, and keep her in his bedroom. From the text, Isaac covets her, Irina, in an unwholesome way and won't allow anyone or anything to come between them. I get that he doesn't know she's his sister, but the writers certainly did.
I don't think he has anything for us, Nala.
Nala growls menacingly. He lied to Bedikus. He said he had chicken and he didn't. Let's kill him.
I'm fine if you want to chomp down. The city guard could use a better leader anyway.
He said he was gonna give Bedikus his hand, and he didn't, and Bedikus got burnt. Bedikus says we eat both his hands as punishment. Isaac tries to release himself from Nala's jaws, but is really not in a great position to free himself.
Stupid scaled creature!
Isaac unleashes a gout of fire from his fiendish arm, trying to hit Nala's face. Nala manages to swing out of the way of the full damage, but still gets singed. Nala retaliates by piercing Isaac's body with her teeth. The lifeless body drops from Tyrannosaurus Nala's mouth, and Nala turns back into her dragonborn self. Bedikus wants a piece too.
I guess we might get run out of town for eating this guard.
What were we supposed to do? He was just gonna keep sending people after us, you know?
I guess we're kind of f***ed either way.
Is there a good place to hide his body?
We know the gravedigger.
That's true. And the coffin maker.
And the gravedigger owes us a solid.
The perfect crime.
I do need to grow his plants, so while I'm doing that, he can come here and dig a grave.
More people means more meat. Bedikus is so happy we are not fighting meatless animals anymore. Bedikus is so happy. The other option is to dump his body in front of the burgomaster's area and inform him, you know what? Now that I say it out loud, it might give us yet another result we don't want.
Yeah, it's his word against ours. He's a dead head of the guard, and we're us.
The party suddenly stops talking as they notice a figure trying to keep hidden near the entrance to the graveyard. They don't recognize him, but if you've kept up with the campaign stories thus far, you should. Bedikus says we should take his right arm, so when we hold up his right arm, people will believe we are telling the truth, and we can eat his left hand. Wait, but why? What? Huh?
We're innocent. We just have his arm.
It's simple. Medicus has seen people raise their right arms when they tell the truth, so we just hold up his right arm and people will believe us.
Solid logic. Dead solid.
Maybe we should deal with this visitor?
Do you know who it is?
No?
Boblia, go grab his clothes and bring him to us.
Boblia charges at the man, who tries to flee.
Hey, be nice.
Boblia drags him back to the group and into the zone of truth.
What's the big idea?
He has failed against the zone.
Okay, who are you?
I'm just a nobody, but I have a letter to you from someone important.
Give it to me.
The man digs in his pocket and hands Zaylee a letter with an intricate wax seal. Zaylee breaks the seal and skims the letter, which is an invitation to dine with one Fiona Vakta at Vakta House in the northern end of Vallaki. The invitation provides an address and stipulates that dinner is served tonight at sundown.
Who the f is this?
Zaylee got no patience for this.
No, I was in the middle of a murder and a cover-up.
Well, don't hurt me. Lady Fiona does not appreciate the Baron or Isaac for that matter. She is looking for allies to destabilize his despotic rule of Vallaki.
Is she like this guy?
Zaylee gestures to the bloody body of Isaac.
That is Isaac himself. She would prefer to see him many feet beneath the soil.
Whoops. So if he disappeared, you wouldn't say anything?
After I inform my lady you are her allies, it would be a great mystery where Isaac the Terrible has vanished off to.
We'll take it, I guess.
What do you all think?
We may have someone able to help us in the aftermath of this, especially since the Baron's people are probably not on our side at this point.
Okay, we'll come to dinner.
She is expecting you.
Boblia releases the man and he dashes off, fading into the mist.
I imagine that huge fight isn't exactly conducive to social interaction, but alright.
The party is quiet for a few moments, and the deafening silence of Vallaki hits them. No one is on the streets. This is a direct consequence of the party clashing with the town guard and leaving a pile of bodies in their wake. The town will hide indoors until the party leaves or is out of sight for enough time to allow them to carry on their miserable lives, minus spouses, siblings, and friends who fell in the line of duty. Badakas is currently desecrating Isaac's body, trying to carve off the fiendish arm. Predictably, he's having trouble getting the exact cut he wants.
Bediccus's cutters aren't cutting how Bediccus wants. Bediccus is sad because Bediccus wants the hand that burned Bediccus's face.
We need to get the bones to the church and get this guy buried.
Nala tosses Torin the bones. Torin, Zaylee, and Irina head into the church and deliver them to Father Lucian. A group of Barovians in the church catch a glimpse of the party and run the other way, hiding behind any scraps of cover they can find.
Why are they doing this?
I assume they think we're murderers.
No one has checked the guards. They're not dead. Or all these just bury them without checking.
Hello, Father. There was a misunderstanding on our way over. You were right about the bones, but they ended up with Henrik Vandervoort, just in case they disappear again. Father Lucian gratefully accepts the bones.
Any chance you can tell the people of the church we didn't kill anyone?
After I return the bones, I'll absolve you myself. Where did the incident occur?
Near the stocks.
What an unfortunate place.
The group leaves the church to rejoin Barakas at Isaac's corpse. Father Lucian briskly makes his way to the town square.
Bediccus would love to have some sewers right now to conveniently dispose of this mean man with the hand. Bediccus thinks these people are nasty for putting their waste everywhere.
Nala knocks on Milovaj's house and is greeted by the teenager himself.
You're here. Didn't think you'd come. I said I would. Though, do you mind doing us a favor while I'm out growing your plants?
Depends on the favor, but sure.
We need you to dig us an adult-sized grave.
Oh, sure. Do you need it now or later?
I'll be here for a couple hours casting the spell, but now isn't a bad time. I'll tell my siblings to stay out of your way then. If you need something, just let them know and they'll come find me.
Milovaj grabs his shovel and hops the nearby graveyard fence. Nala can hear a shovel striking dirt, and it's clear Milovaj has chosen a discreet area to make this new grave. Nala begins a casting of plant growth, which affects all plants within half a mile of the casting point. These plants will provide double their normal harvest over the next year. Barakas rolls around in the graveyard while the rest of the party waits for Milovaj to finish digging the grave. After Milovaj finishes digging, the party unceremoniously dumps Isaac's body into the grave and buries it. Not moments after the grave is filled, Father Lucian strides into the graveyard.
The guards have all woken up. Despite some bruising of body and ego, it is clear you were true to your word. Let it be known.
Yeah, let it be known we're honest.
I had no doubt, as you had already done a great service by returning my lost item.
The party exits the graveyard and is met by the sight of a large pack of disheveled-looking guards who are not in any semblance of battle formation. The silence is eerie as the two groups watch each other carefully, attempting to gauge the other's next move. One guard separates from the pack and stands just ahead of the rest.
Why didn't you kill us?
You were just doing your job. We met other guards in the village and they seemed alright. None of you seemed terribly inclined to be fighting us, but you were commanded to. It doesn't mean you deserve to die for that.
The guard is clearly taken aback, having grown up in Barovia's kill or be killed environment.
What became of Isaac?
I don't know. He ran off.
Oh. I speak for all of us when I say we are grateful for our lives, but you should finish your business in town and leave before Isaac returns. We are obligated to follow his orders.
Okay, that sounds fine to me.
The guard is clearly caught off guard by Zaylee's carefree attitude towards the well-intentioned warning, but does not pursue the issue. The guards slowly disperse, keeping the party in their peripheral vision as they head to their homes. In the next episode, the party visits Fiona Wachter at her mansion, Wachter House, for a dinner steeped in guile, deception, and political machinations. But now they are being closely monitored by allies and enemies alike. The sparing of innocent lives sends a powerful message, one that cannot be ignored. A special thanks to my lovely patrons for making this possible. And thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, share my video on your Twitter, Facebook, or other social media, and make the leap to become one of my patrons on Patreon. I'll see you all next time.